The noise builds and away we go. Who gets the jump from line? It's a very good start from Daryl Jones from pole position. Also well away is George Line, and it's Line who gets the jump. In fact, over Robbie Watts up into third position. They run down through Paddock Hill Bend. So it's Daryl Jones who leads. Shane Kelly second. Line is third. Watts is in fourth. Jacopo Sebastiani up into fifth. But watch for the progress of Tony Bishop. That is going to be worth tracking over the course of the early stage of the race, as Bishop waffled up behind Stuart Wiltshire. And unlike the action that we saw earlier on, everybody cleaning off the line, nobody getting bogged down. So that already releases Shane Kelly to get onto terms. I say nobody cleaning off the line. Daniel Tapnos, in fact, was left stranded, so he gets pushed clear just as the leaders come past. And this time around, Daryl Jones has really got his work cut out, because he's got Shane Kelly looming very large on his tail. And Kelly asking all the right questions in the early stages. They've got George Line looking to join them as well. And what Line will be hoping for is that Kelly and Jones start to battle with each other, and as they battle with each other, it's going to slow the rest of the pack down and potentially bring he and Robbie Watts into the mix. For now, though, Kelly trying to run in that turbulent air behind Daryl Jones. Jones, though, to choose his own line. That's the leader's prerogative as they run through the late afternoon sunshine. It's a beautiful May afternoon here at Brands Hatch. As they head towards the braking zone at Paddock Hill Bend, these cars braking desperately late. They've got so much grip available to them. For arriving at Druids, swing around the hairpin, then down to the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. Through Graham Hill Bend, then the short sprint along the Cooper Straight on towards Surtees. Everybody else holding station behind. There's Robbie Watts in fourth place. Chase down George Line. As again, Kelly appreciably close to Daryl Jones. Is he going to be close enough to challenge on this occasion? He might well be, because he's right underneath the rear wing of Jones as the pair of them come across the start and finish line. And Kelly goes for that wide line into Paddock Hill Bend. He tries to force the move, then looks to bring the car down to a tighter apex. But Jones sticking to the racing line makes it difficult for Kelly, who then launches the inside line at Druid. Daryl Jones has to give Shane Kelly racing room. That's a lovely move from Kelly, who takes the lead of the race. Very, very brave going into Druids, and also very astute driving from Jones to avoid the collision. By the time that cost Daryl Jones, has been enough already to give Shane Kelly a little bit of a jump over the rest of the pack. As they swing through Surtees, George Line also under pressure from Robbie Watts, and Robbie Watts is going to be able to make the move here on line as they run along the Brabham Straight. The blue car of Watts gets in front of the white and red entry of George Line, and Watts goes into third position. Robbie, another driver who knows this Brands Hatch circuit inside out. There's Jacopo Sebastiani as well, looking to join in fifth position. This is what happens when the leading group battle. The extra tenth of a second or so of a lap that cost them brings others into the mix. George Line most on the podium. What can he do? You remember Shane Kelly was a second clear last time through on the race leader Daryl Jones. Daryl Jones immediately being pressurised by Robbie Watts, has absolutely got the bit between his teeth this time round, and Watts is going to be close enough to challenge Jones, maybe into Paddock Hill Bend. Pair of them run in tandem, swing down through Paddock Hill Bend, and then climb through the hairpin at Druids. It's a bit of a gap back to the next group of cars, and it's Harrison under pressure and now passed by Stuart Wiltshire, and possibly passed as well by Tony Bishop. Wiltshire and Bishop both have been glad to clear that entry of Mark Harrison. Now sets them off in pursuit of some of the cars they'd have wanted to run with earlier on, but with the retirement from the earlier race from Tony Bishop, the poor start in the earlier race from Stuart Wiltshire meant that they were relatively speaking out of position. Now have to fly in formation to see what they can do about that leading group. Run down through Paddock. It's the leaders putting a lap on Jeffrey Hoodless and the leading quintet. Really covered by that much ground. In fact, the same goes for the group, up to and including Wiltshire and Bishop. position. There's only about 5.5 seconds that covers those 7 cars. In particular, battle for second, getting particularly close once more. Darryl Jones just doesn't seem to have the pace underneath him in this third and final race of the weekend that he did in comparison to the earlier ones, and therefore Robbie Watts able to put a lot of pressure on him. But of course, it depends what Darryl Jones has done with his setup, depends how he set up the tyre pressures. It could well be that he has decided to get the car working for the second half of the race, and he'll possibly look to kick on a little bit then. Meanwhile, the progress of Wiltshire Bishop is such that they're half a second a lap quicker than Jacopo Sebastiani in 5th position, so we're soon going to have a 6-car train doing battle for second place. A race leader Shane Kelly is long gone. Then Darryl Jones in second, Robbie Watts in 3rd place. 4th place, George Line. In 5th is Jacopo Sebastiani, 6th Stuart Wiltshire, and 7th Tony Bishop. That leading couple of cars climbing up towards Druids. Jacopo Sebastiani is about to find his mirrors getting very, very full. Wiltshire and Bishop, as we rather thought they might, deciding not to engage in battle just yet, seeing how quickly they can get up to the leading group, because Shane Kelly's not really pulled the pin and decimated the field just yet. Of course, we're in the relatively early stage of the race, 13 minutes left on the clock. Nobody quite close enough to challenge on this occasion. Robbie Watts getting caught in that eternal Formula 3 challenge, which is trying to drive through the turbulent air of the car in front and being unable to do so. Same possibly for George Line in 4th place, where he's just slipping adrift in the fight for second. Here come Wiltshire and Bishop. Closing up. It's already another lap gets reeled off. Shane Kelly's lead now 1.7 seconds, and he's just set the fast lap of the race. Away from Darryl Jones. Sebastiani next along, Stuart Wiltshire and Tony Bishop, who is next in the queue. The timing screen possibly suggesting otherwise. Already Wiltshire getting onto terms with Jacopo Sebastiani. Then it is Tony Bishop in pursuit, in line behind him. This pair of them run downhill. Sebastiani just dropping back from George Line as well. That's going to make Sebastiani a little bit more vulnerable to challenge from Wiltshire. Of course, Wiltshire, he's just to start to get caught in that turbulent wake from the car in front. Something that Robbie Watts has been doing from lap on. Lap seems reasonably comfortable in so doing, despite the issues that he's got with his wrist. We've also got Malcolm Scott out on track, and he's running with Daniel Tapanos. Tapanos trying to recover ground after his problems at the start, so you can disregard the number 5 car in terms of the race overall, but Tapanos just out to have a lot of fun and enjoy himself. Malcolm Scott, a stalwart of Formula 4 racing, of Monoposto racing, now in the F3 Cup. Right, second place swings through Surtees once more, just about half race distance, so there is still the opportunity for this to all change around. But at the moment, the race largely unfolding, I would suggest, as the drivers would have wanted it to, which is they're able to run their own race, they're able to play to their car's advantages. Shane Kelly leads it. Second place, Darryl Jones. Third is Robbie Watts. Fourth place is George Line. Fifth place, Jacopo Sebastiani. Sixth, Stuart Wiltshire. Seventh, Tony Bishop. Eighth is Mark Harrison. Ninth place, is Malcolm Scott, and then 10th place Jeffrey Hoodless, who is also to the fore of the Masters class. There is Stuart Wiltshire now. He is right up with Jacopo Sebastiani now. Sebastiani really about to get some questions asked of him. This has been a 3 or 4 lap capture from Stuart Wiltshire. It was always inevitable that he was going to catch Sebastiani. Now, can he find a way past him? The answer is not a Paddock Hill bend this time around. Of course, that's given Sebastiani the hurry up a little bit to get on terms with George Lyne, which is what we were talking about at the top of the race, which is that the physical exertion of driving these F3 Cup cars, particularly on a track as busy as the Brands Hatch Indy circuit, means that through the course of the race, driving fatigue will potentially start to finish, and that's where we'll start to see the odd mistake or two being made. That's possibly why Sebastiani is suddenly a bit closer to line than he was previously. Here's the fight for second place. Darryl Jones ahead of Robbie Watts. And Robbie, as he has done throughout all of the preceding 15 or so laps, is right there in pursuit of Darryl Jones, but just cannot find a way past him. Even though he is able to drive through the turbulent air, the braking distances of these cars are so short that unless you're really completely alongside before the corner, it's very hard to craft the overtaking manoeuvre. That's exactly what Robbie Watts is finding. Again, he is a car and a half length back from Darryl Jones coming through the apex of clearways, but that is going to just be a little bit too much for Watts to overhaul on this occasion. Down through Paddock Hill bend, all he can do is just start to apply the pressure. Caravan now well clear of the fight for 4th position, which has become a 4-car train. About to exit Druids now. There you see it. George Lyne has got Jacopo Sebastiani, Stuart Wiltshire and Tony Bishop all queued up behind him. Now, at what point does Tony Bishop start to begin to make his move? He worked with Stuart Wiltshire to close up to Jacopo Sebastiani. You'll now be thinking, well, Stuart, you've had a couple of laps to try and overhaul Jacopo. You haven't really been able to do anything about him. So now maybe he will look to challenge, but he's not going to be close enough to challenge Stuart Wiltshire this time around into Paddock Hill bend. Swinging down through Paddock. Now Wiltshire forces the defensive move from Sebastiani. This is more like it for Stuart Wiltshire, except as he looked to the outside, it gave Tony Bishop the hint of an opening to the inside line. Bishop, however, thought better of it. Run train, swinging left, then right around. Really the never-ending right-hander at Clearways and Clark Curve. This has been a good performance though from Jacopo Sebastiani in 5th place. He has kept in touch with George Lyne. He's also not put a wheel wrong, driven very consistently with 6.5 minutes remaining. Hold on, and that is going to be a very solid finish for him. Meanwhile, Tony Bishop thought about pulling the pin into Druids, couldn't make it through. As here is our race leader, Shane Kelly. Kelly just 2.5 seconds clear of Darryl Jones, but that's all he needs. He doesn't need to push the car any harder. Darryl Jones also just beginning to move clear of Robbie Watts. Finally, you just wonder whether or not Robbie is beginning to experience a little bit of graining with his front tyres, possibly as a result of having spent so long in the turbulent air from the car in front. Through Druids, Watts no closer to Darryl Jones. Darryl Jones actually starting to come back now at Shane Kelly. That last lap for Darryl Jones was a second quicker than Kelly's preceding tour. Whether that's Shane just managing his tyres or whether or not there is a possibility that Darryl Jones is going to be able to fight to challenge for the victory. We will find out. We're almost at 3/4 race distance as Kelly flashes through from Jones and then Robbie Watts. Next group of cars, Stuart Wiltshire in the middle of it, into Paddock Hill bend, and Jacopo Sebastiani who was looking to try and find a way past George Line, couldn't quite do